Hello, it's Bill, the Colorado 4x4 van here at van headquarters today in some more snow. We've gotten quite a bit here lately, but I thought I'd give you guys an update. It's been a little while, and while the truck is slowly crawling along, there is something else that I have been working on. As far as the truck goes, it's been pretty slow. I was able to get one of the boxes painted and one of these trim rings painted. Pour 15. That's pour 15 on both of these. And I like that look. I think I'm going to go with that all the way around, especially when all of this everything below the frame is going to be all black. The boxes, the frame, the fenders, everything will be black. So I think I'm going to go with that. We were also able to get the new shocks installed. We used a company out of Germany, Marquardt Suspensions. That was recommended by a forum that I'm on for the truck. And they asked me a ton of questions, like how much of my frame was behind the center of the axle back, what the back weighed. They had the standard measurements for the shocks for the 917 already in their system, but when I told them I had a lift, they had me measure that and give them that. And really did a good job of asking all the right questions. So we ended up getting custom shocks made. The front is longer because of the lift. The back is longer and bigger diameter for some extra load. They asked what I would put on the back as far as a spare tire. We may put a moped or something back here eventually. So we ended up having custom 2 different ways for the shocks. They were shipped here in 2 days from Germany, and I didn't have to pay until I fitted them and made sure everything was right. I had 30 days to pay. We were able to get them installed, make sure everything worked, and then I was able to pay them, and everything worked out great. So can't say enough good things about them. I'll put a link to their company on the description of this video. So if you have a German vehicle, they can probably help you with that, and they're excellent to work with. Christian over there was great. So that's about the limit of what we've gotten done here. It was a big step, and I'd like to have more of the painting done, but as you can see, our winter is just not going to let us go. So I've been working inside on something else, and I'll show you that next. So as I've teased on the Facebook page and the Instagram, my welder friend Ron, who's done all the work on Serenity for me, and we've known each other for several years now. He's done work to my work trailer. We put the timberless axles on it. I've wired a bunch of the machinery at his shop. So we've known each other quite a while, and he's been so inspired by the Serenity build that he wanted to build something for himself. He has does a lot of hunting, but he and his wife have a nice Jeep, and they do some off-roading and stuff like that. So he wanted something that was off-road like Serenity, but he didn't want a big truck. So he decided to build a trailer, and this is it here. And he built this from the ground up. He didn't start with a trailer. He built everything you see here from scratch. Steel deck, steel trailer, and an aluminum living quarters on the back that is removable. It bolts on. You can take that off and use it as a big flatbed. Probably won't be done, kind of like Serenity. You know, you don't want to take it off, but if you ever had to for service reasons or anything, you could take the entire camper off. And stage one was, I had the flatbed. We had to wire the running lights. All four wheels have brakes on them. He used the timberless wheel axles on these. So there's no axle going between the wheels. Each wheel has its own axle, suspension, and brakes built in. So we wired all those, the tail lights, the running lights, trailer breakaway, brakes. We wired all that first to get it road legal so that he could get his inspection from the highway patrol to get his plates. And then he had everything painted, the deck all painted black. The living quarters is red. He has a nice Dodge dually pickup that's really cool that are the same colors, so this matches it almost perfectly. Looks really nice. I'll start at the front here as far as the electrical goes, but I'll give you an overview of what I know about what he's going to do with it also. So this is going to be the electrical box. Batteries are going to be in here. His inverter is in here. We have the big fuse for the inverter. And then these wires here are the main power wires going back to his panel inside. This little wire here is a remote turn on for the inverter. That will go back there. The only thing I have left to do here is I'm going to install this just like Serenity has on the outside, so he can plug in shore power to charge everything if he wants to. Take the place of his inverter. There's a toolbox back here. That's for the normal tools, stuff you put in here in normal trailers will be in here. He has two 30-pound propane tank holders here and here with built-in ratchet strap on them. And I should say this before I go on. He's got these round windows that are sailboat windows. So on that theme, he kind of went with a rail, and this is a hard steel piped propane system. And I'll show you the rest of that in a little bit. It goes, kind of looks like a rail going down the side with an on-off valve here. He has these jacks on all four corners to level it out. He has a deck with the ramp here for his four-wheel drive quad that he uses. I can ride there. Double axle, some really cool tie-off points and things like that. On the back here, this is a fold-down ramp slash deck. It'll sit level, and it'll have a step to get into it, but it can be used as a ramp to get things in and out, but it can also sit level as he'll have some decking on this, so you can sit out here as kind of like a back porch. And double duty, when it's folded up like this and in a lock position, it covers the door so you can't get in for more security. But this is where the entry door will be. So we come in back here, you have switches for your exterior light, and we're going to use the same recessed lights that I have in Serenity. Be 3 of them here, 2 of them there, 2 over the bed. So the overall layout is going to be, there's a queen bed at the back there underneath that ramp. There's going to be a small seating area right underneath the electrical here. The refrigerator, which he's using this next smaller version of my chest fridge from Serenity, the 75 quart. It's going to sit right there on a cabinet. Sink will be here underneath this window, and he's got an instant hot water heater that's going to go underneath there. There'll be a small counter area over here. Microwave is going to sit in the corner there. So we have an AC outlet here, and then we have an AC outlet up here that is for a wall-mounted TV DVD player that'll be able to fold out and point either way toward the bed or out here. And then the electrical will have a cabinet built on it, and the solar charge controller will sit in that, kind of like the Serenity's cabinet. And anything else he wants he can mount to the cabinet there. But we have the cutoff for the solar panel, cutoff for the batteries, circuit breaker, the same fuse box we used in Serenity. And I went ahead and put these positive and negative blocks here for any accessories that might be mounted in the panel itself, panel door itself. And then, yeah, there'll be a remote turn on switch for the inverter here. He's going to use the same propane fireplace heater that I have in the van in Serenity. It's going to go right here. Water pump and water tanks underneath the bed. And then we're going to put a bunch of USB outlets and stuff in here for him. He'll have a nice vent fan up here. So here's the solar panel. It's 270 watt panel, monocrystalline. And I think that's going to be perfect. We designed this electrical system very similar to the van, kind of a cross between the van and Serenity, but mostly like the van. The van has 230 watts. This will have 270, and it's on a good angle, so here in the north, he can just have this pointed south, and he should have good sun covered year round. To go with that, we're using the same charge controller I used in the van, the Blue Sky 3000i Solar Boost charge controller, and that'll mount in the door to the electrical cabinet there. So overall, I think he's going to have a really nice rig that he's going to get a lot of use of. Like I said, it's all aluminum. It won't rust, it won't fall apart, be impervious to the weather here. It'll be well insulated, so I know he'll do a good job with that. And with that fireplace heater in here, he'll have no trouble staying warm. Anyway, that's what I've been working on. Hopefully the next video I'll have some more truck stuff for you. I can't wait now with all these improvements to get the camper back on, to see how everything works together. The shocks are great, but it really won't know for sure how great they are until we get the weight on the back. It's so bouncy with no weight back there. But so I'm excited to get it finished, and hopefully we'll be ready by spring to get back out on the road. Anyway, that's all I have for now. Until next time.